In 2023, one policy change made fuel prices explode overnight. Let's not forget, in 2024, the government came out and said that they were owing electricity companies 6.5 trillion naira. And guess who is going to pay back? Of course, Nigerians. Initially, Nigeria was owing for fuel and they removed subsidy. Guess who paid? Nigerians. President Tinubu removed one subsidy in 2023. Until date, Nigerians are still feeling it. He's eyeing another one. I'm very sure at this point in time, when any Nigerian hears anything about subsidy, he or she panics because 2023 we heard about subsidy removal and till date, things have skyrocketed. Well, on today's episode, I'm here to break every single thing what is subsidy and what Nigerians should expect in 2027. Welcome to Solid Finance Podcast, where we bring you finance and economic updates of things that are happening in Africa and the world at large. Let's dive right in. For better analysis and understanding of what is going on in Nigeria, I'd like us to look at the African business newspapers to understand deeply. Tinubu's political posture since taking office in 2023 has been unapologetically executive. He arrived with the reputation of a consummate political operator, a veteran and a master of Lagos power broking, who promised decisive action on decade-old problems. On that domestic front, that decisiveness has translated into high risk, high visibility decisions including subsidy removals and currency unification that provoked immediate pain, but aim to unlock investor confidence. Critics say the move will rush and socially insensitive, while supporters point to the improved headline metrics and renewed market interest. The truth, as is often the case, sits between the press release and the protests. Now, to understand all this, what does subsidy actually mean? Subsidy just means the government paying part of the money for a product to make it cheap for the citizens of that country. The idea of subsidy is to protect the citizens of that country, but then at what expense? At the expense of the government, because they need to borrow loans or get money from the oil sector and all of that. I know most people are going to say, now, Nigeria has oil, so if there must be subsidies, our oil money that they're going to use to cover it. Well, these things don't go that way. If you want to calculate how much Nigeria spends on electricity in just 1 year, you would know that the government's pocket is also suffering. I'd like us to analyze better from IMF reports. Subsidies take many forms. Governments sometimes keep prices artificially high, which is the case with subsidies intended to boost the incomes of farmers. They may offer services such as a university education or a subway ride at below the cost. They may pay some of the interest on loan used to finance construction of a road or a power plant, or they may grant relief from taxes on certain products or technologies. When you hear that Nigeria is going to borrow money from World Bank, this is what they claim that they're using the money for. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in 2023, the very first thing he said during his inauguration speech was, fuel subsidy is gone. Many people were clapping. People were like, why is he removing fuel subsidy? Like, people that did not understand this, they were like, what's going on? The government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said that removing fuel subsidy will help the government's pocket go up or attract investors. When they come to your country and see how much you have in your wallet, this will attract them. So the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was just trying to, bring up Nigeria to look like a very good country. And just overnight after he made that speech at his inauguration, petrol prices went up, and that made the price of transportation high, making things higher for every single person, from food to clothing to goods and services. Every single thing increased in price. I'd like us to take the reports from Vanguard newspapers. President Tinubu acknowledged that the decision to remove the subsidy was difficult and painful for many Nigerians, but stressed that it became necessary to rescue the country from fiscal collapse and restore economic stability. According to the president, the country has spent enormous resources for years on unsustainable subsidy payments that benefited only a few, while denying critical sectors of the economy the investments they needed.
We shall continue the effort of the Buhari administration on infrastructure development there, and know how many railroad and water construction of fuel subsidy. Unfortunately, the budget that I've glimpsed before I assumed office and what I've heard is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
People were so happy, they were clapping, they were like, oh, fuel subsidy is gone. This means that things will get better. They didn't even understand what subsidy meant. They were just clapping. Now, this is where things are beginning to get very serious. In 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu removed fuel subsidy. Now, he's telling us, come 2027, they are going to remove electricity subsidy, meaning that things are not going to get worse in Nigeria. So, you will not just need one stream of income. We're going to need like 3 different streams of incomes to be able to survive in Nigeria. As of February 2024, it was recorded that for Nigeria, only electricity subsidy was taking about 3 trillion naira, and then they were owing most of these companies 6.5 trillion naira, and that's a lot of money. According to the Reuters newspapers, the Nigerian government says that it plans to discontinue subsidy payment in the electricity sector from 2027 as part of efforts to establish a more sustainable financing model for the industry. Minister of Power Dr. Joseph Tebe disclosed the plan during a media briefing on Friday while addressing the mounting liabilities in the power sector. He explained that although the subsidy regime would be phased out, electricity consumers would continue to enjoy improved access to power without losing existing benefits. Tebe stressed that the government has no intention of raising electricity tariff in the near term. According to him, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the ministry to eliminate the sector legacy debt and put in place measures that will prevent a fresh buildup of unpaid obligations. That brings us back to the first question I asked initially. Who is going to clear up this debt of 6.5 trillion naira for the government? I answered Nigerians. Electricity isn't a luxury. It is now a survival scheme because we need it for every single thing. Every household, every hairdresser, every barber, every single person who owns a fridge needs electricity. Don't forget, most Nigerians depend on generators and solar. So if they cross this out, this just means that ITEL solar panel that I've been advertising, all Nigerians will have to run to it because that is the only surviving plan. Every other person will run to solar panels because the Nigerian electricity is not even reliable. We don't trust it. So this means that everything is going to skyrocket and people will start paying for electricity by grinding.
The government just come outside to talk, say from 2027, them go stop to the make NEPA cheap for Nigerians. Just the way fuel jump from 185 naira for 1 liter to over 600 naira back then in 2023 because of the Mr. President come outside to talk, say government go stop to the make fuel cheap for Nigerians.
The fuel subsidy is gone.
That same thing, that exact same thing won't happen to our electricity. How much will they pay for light? But make I tell you something very, very important. This one will be like fuel wey jump overnight. Oh, this one is different. Government plan say they go to come out their hand little by little. Say now small they go to come out hand from making electricity cheap to Nigerians. Meaning you no go just wake up one morning and say your electricity bill, your NEPA bill don't double. Maybe waiting go happen with that. But instead, now small it go to rise little by little until suddenly maybe a year from now. You could just wake up to say, wait till they pay for the same amount of lights, don't almost double. And you don't go even fit to remember when it starts.
So to wrap everything up, this just means that subsidy is the price the government has to pay to make goods and services cheaper for Nigerians. Well, to like, the well to share, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Solid Finance Podcast, for more finance and economic updates like this. Till next time.